Hi, hello, what's up? Welcome. So, my name is Asia. If it's your first time here, welcome to my channel. In here, you are going to find spiritual information as well as practical advice based on practical life and energy readings. I do have psychic abilities. I am clairaudient, also clairvoyant. I'm also a little bit into mediumship, and I sorry, my dog Anubis is having a very loud, playful moment. And yeah, so I do read energies here. Most of my videos are interactive, just like this one, meaning that you are going to be invited to use and train your own intuition. I do provide 4 different groups for most of my videos. So this will be my second pick a card video. I do have also pick an object videos, and in those I channel different myths from the ancient Greek mythology in order to analyze and sorry, my dog is quite distracting at this moment. In order to analyze the energies underneath and how to use those energies, those transit in today's life and in today's situation. So in order to really enjoy and profit from this type of information, this type of message, you might want to learn how to choose which one is the group for you. So yeah, that was a little first disclaimer. So yeah, that is the general vibe in this channel, and that is because the deck that I use is called the Oracle of Delphi Tarot. So it is quite a unique deck. It has its own figures. Some of them can be compared to more classical tarot cards that you might have seen or encountered somewhere else in your life. And yeah, in terms of type of video, as I was saying, this will be my second pick a card. I just in my last video, I recently learned how to use my deck in order to do collective pick a cards, and now I'm super excited. I have channeled already different titles beside of this one. So if you're into pick a cards, welcome. You are probably going to like this one. And then the other one that is also already online is called Who is Devouring You with Your Eyes. Then pick an object, and then I also have another mini series of still spiritual video. I am more like embracing my hot mess self in those videos. And I am basically channeling messages without cards. So the use of cards is mostly to give people several options, and be able to deliver information that can derive from one same energetic transit, but it can have many different meanings for many different people, and it can also translate itself into many different ways depending on the situation. Okay, and so yeah, that is for the interactive videos, and then for the shorter ones, those are divided by topics, and yeah, they're more chill, let's say, free flowing, and yeah, it's like a little extra complement, practical complement, because it goes a little bit more into practical spirituality and practical exercises that one can do in order to either cleanse or improve your spiritual protection. Okay? So, today's video is going to be called Dear Spirit, What the Fuck? And when I received the download, it was just like that, and very vague, you might say. But I decided to interpret it as an open letter or as an open question to Spirit that you might want to ask if you're going through a what the fuck situation. So me personally, I have been going through some quite what the fuck situations lately, from which I have been learning a lot. And so this is also a great occasion to create some supportive material for people who might relate to my approach, who might feel comfortable in my channel, and who are going through a what the fuck situation, okay? And so we are going to have 4 groups, so 4 different kinds of what the fuck situations. And we are now going, well, Anubis like literally destroys the shoe that I gifted him. But that's okay. We're going to now film the 4 cards that I have already pulled out. I am going to tell you which group corresponds to which card, so that you can use your intuition, like look at the cards. But one exercise that I think I've already shared in another video is try to look at them with semi-closed eyes. It's an exercise that I have learned through dance, by the way. And ask yourself this question: Dear Spirit, what the fuck? And try to see which card is telling you the most that is the answer to your what the fuck moment. Okay? So yeah, I'm just going to film the cards. Be patient. My current installation setting is still under testing, so I'm going to try to stabilize the camera as soon as possible. But yeah, that might take some time. So if you are prone to feeling dizzy, just look away until I tell you we're safe. Okay. So. All right, we are safe. We have group 1, group 2, 3, and 4. You might have messages in more than one group. That's okay. All groups will be listed in the description below so you can already skip to your chapter. Once again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I'm now going to film group 1. Hi group 1. So, if you have chosen group 1, this is going to be your card. Okay? So, we're going to look at this card, and from it we're going to analyze different phases of your what the fuck moment. So first and foremost, we're going to see what your what the fuck moment is about. Then we are going to see like either what's the good side of this what the fuck moment, or what you can use to move forward. Then we're going to see like why it is bad, basically, and then either why this is happening, or like what's gonna happen from it. And so right away, to try and define your type of what the fuck moment, the word that is coming through is deception, but is not the right word. I know that I am translating it wrong from French, and what I actually trying to say is like disillusion, or something. Like your what the fuck moment is that you have put so many energy, so much work into something. It's like it's a general message, so it might refer to a whole bunch of different situations. It could be work, but it says that it could also be related to relationships. Like you might have been waiting for some sort of communication, or like some sort of closure as well. Like it could be in the positive sense, but also in the negative sense. Like you might have been working and hoping and praying to see like a certain relationship progress, but you could also have been working and praying towards seeing a certain relationship like end. Basically same with work. And so your what the fuck situation is that is not coming through, like plain and simply. And so you might also be experiencing some sort of ego death, like when you have a certain idea of how things should be achieved, and you also have a certain fixed idea of how you should be rewarded by people or life according to what you do. And like your idea is clashing against reality at this moment. And when I talk about ego death, like you might have had a certain idea of who you were supposed to be by this time, at this moment in time, and like you are not. And so that is like pushing you to have a what the fuck moment also with yourself. Like you might have placed a bet on something as well, and you are kind of wondering whether that bet was actually a good one. Like was it even worth trying? That's what I'm hearing. Okay, so one thing that is already coming through as soon as I start analyzing, like, it's really a reduction to say the good part, but it's simpler to tell it that way. The good part of this what the fuck moment. One first thing that is coming through is that you might have perhaps focused way too much on one manifestation area of you. Like, let's say that you are very mentally strong, you're very smart, and you also take pride in being that, okay? And you know that because you are smart, you have been successful in the past in certain situations, and therefore you were counting on achieving the same results using the same technique, or using a well-defined, pre-established intellectual strategy, and that might have been useful. Like, I mean, having structure in whatever you do, it's always useful. But what he's saying here is that you are probably neglecting the sensation part of this process. So it might be as simple as nurturing the body in order to allow your system suggest you new solutions. Like, you might feel stuck, like, I've already done everything that came to my mind, and perhaps you are right, because that was everything that could come from your mind. But our system is made up of way more than that, okay? And so it is possible to get inspiration not only from staying trapped and closed in your mind, but you can also get inspiration from doing nice things for yourself, nourishing your body, and also going a little bit with the flow, like following your sensations rather than your ideas. Also going into places where the senses are activated, like it could be restaurants, it could be even like being out in nature and taking the time to feel something different on your skin. It could be just the wind, going to swim as well. Yeah. And without throwing caution through the window, using sensations to achieve more success, okay? Like, this is a good chance for you to learn new ways to find solutions, first and foremost. After this, I went on analyzing like the bad part of this transit, which is represented here by the keyword the theft. So, one scenario that's coming through, and that might explain your what the fuck moment, is I have been stolen, like someone literally stole something from you, and that is why you're experiencing lack, okay? And once again, in this scenario, using sensations might be like a little counterintuitive, like, what if I just lost something, I cannot afford to pamper myself. Yes, you can. Like, Spirit is saying yes, you can, because that is what is going to illuminate how to move forward in this situation. So either like what type of legal process to take or not take, or what kind of new project you might want to start or expand in order to compensate whatever whatever lacking situation you are experiencing. Another scenario that is coming through is that you are kind of feeling robbed by your own self, like because of this dissatisfying situation that you're in, you are kind of feeling like I mean, I'm not saying that it is your fault, because I mean, yes, it could be a karmic situation, perhaps. I yeah, I should probably do a private reading to deeply analyze that. But this could also be like just how things are supposed to be right now, and for you it is super frustrating because you're feeling like you are operating below your capabilities. So like if you like, I am trying to explain the word robbed in this scenario and I'm having a bit of a hard time. I don't know if that was obvious, but anyway, because my message here is in French, so I am channeling, explaining, and translating at the same time. But yeah, feeling robbed of your own potential. Like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, I know how to do that, I know how good I could be. It's just that in this scenario, in this situation, my wings are kind of clipped, and so what the fuck. And so when we arrive to the final part of this analysis, which is like the chains, I think the best translation is the chains, or being chained. So what you're going through is teaching you a very important lesson about acceptance. Is teaching you a very important lesson about learning how to enjoy life even when it does not come in the exact same sequence that you have planned. It is teaching you how to be resourceful in situations where you might have anticipated, like, oh, I'm going to be able to be comfortable from now on, and actually no, you might have to be a little bit jumpy still for a while, but that is for the best, first and foremost. And also that is simply how it is. Like, if you sat down to really analyze every single energy, like let's say that you had the possibility and the time to really understand each and every single thread of energy that played a role in this situation, in how this situation is right now, you would see that what you're experiencing is a simple consequence of what has been, and that this statement has nothing to do with anyone's opinion with anyone's wishes or desires, like, yes, the previous situation, the previous dynamics, the previous intrications that I have brought to the current one might have been rooted into wishes and desires, perhaps not even yours, okay? And if those were yours, perhaps those were misguided, okay? And so the only way where this could manifest, whatever this is this, in this whatever form that it is right now. And so yeah, you are either, this is either going to like make your face stronger, like if you're able to see how non-intentional events can have such a huge impact on how much you can get from reality, how much control you can have over your wishes and desires. Just imagine how different the situation could be if those same that same amount of actions, thoughts, manifestations were consciously directed in the right way. And so you might end up changing stuff in your life, in your routine, in your, even in the way that you think, okay? Because, you know, this is like I don't have the word in English, like the central of control of the machine. And so if you put like, let's go in that direction, like type of thoughts, and all the surrounding thoughts are contributing to bringing you into that direction, then you will probably experience very little delays, okay? And merely related to stuff that are external to you, and you know, therefore you might also learn how to not deal with that with greater ease. But on the other side, if you have like a main thought that is pushing you in a certain direction, and then all the other secondary thought that you produce and nourish are pushing you into a whole bunch of different directions, then there is no surprise that you are not there yet, you know, because like you make one step and then you make like 10 steps on the sides, and you should have gone like all straight. And you know, now instead of being here, you're here, okay? And so this also talks about becoming a bit strict with yourself, in terms of like defining the situation as it is, putting it under control. Also, we were talking about using your senses. It might be like a moment to sit down and use your senses to really meditate on the situation from all perspectives. Like sometimes you don't really have to move in all directions. All you have to do is just go over the same subject over again for days sometimes, just because it has layers, okay? And so you have to understand all the different layers, and those layers might be mental, but we are not just brain, okay? And so you might want to learn how to include all of yourself in your processes. I think that was all. Let me think if there's something else for my group one. Yeah, so a side message. First, someone you might end up signing a contract. I'm also seeing someone signing a contract with oneself, like sitting down and writing down, from this day on, I vow on doing my best in order to think, like to train my brain in a certain way, or I vow to never speak to myself in a certain way. But this can also be like a contract that might push you forward. And so, like, let's say that you have been wasting time, willingly or not. And this could also be a time where you sit down and decide, okay, I might still have to explore a bit in order to arrive to the finish line, but at least this thing has to be cleared. Like, at least this one thing, this one contract, this one project, this one task has to be finished, written down, sent out, money received, all closed. Okay? And you are going to see just how calming that will feel, and how clear the path will become just later. Okay. Yeah, I guess the one last message is just don't be too sad about the situation, okay? So your card your card is this. I've done a whole video on this myth, and it's called Divine Punishments and Buffet. So if you want to know what this myth is about, you can search the video. But in general, this talks about, divine punishment and someone who is condemned to never, ever, receiving any type of satisfaction. But that was also someone who had done really bad stuff. So unless you know, like, you just know that you have done horrible things, and like, if you've done horrible things, you kind of know. And then this myth also talk about the ability of gods to create infinite stuff, okay? So this might just be a moment for you to remember your own divinity, and rather change the field, and not feel like a victim who is not receiving enough from like a harsh god, but rather feeling like in charge, feeling the master of whatever is coming for you next, and tapping into your own infinite power of creation. And that might come after some work. I mean, you might have like a realization moment, like, oh fuck, like, this is what I have been doing wrong this whole time, or this is what I should definitely integrate in my life. And then, since the brain has different levels of plasticity depending on who you are, how old are you, and other factors can play a role. It might take some time to actually integrate the understanding that you have about the situation or about yourself in your system, and actually seeing it work for you or not, and not against you. So yeah, be patient with yourself, nourish yourself. Look at this guy. I mean, this guy looks stressed as fuck. Okay? And then this guy looks like he's just eating, and everything is fine, and you might have to learn how to be both for a bit. Like, yes, everything is stressing, but you can't really create from that, can you? And so in order to achieve happiness, you might have to invest in a bit of happiness first. So that is one advice. Only take what resonates, release the rest. These are collective readings, so I read the energies. Don't try to force a situation if it just doesn't fit. Okay, you should use this as confirmation. And yeah, I might start to do more detective related videos in the future, but we're still in a chill mode here right now. That was it for my group 1. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, who cares? If you want to connect through other social media, I also share smaller spiritual content. You will find my website in the description box below, and the donation link is in the description box below as well. If you want to leave a tip, support the channel, be cool, show some love. that is always appreciated. And if you want to book a personal reading, as long as the reservation link is still present in the description box, it is still possible. Many different options are available. Just check which one resonates for you the most. Thank you, bye-bye, and I'm going to film group number 2. Hi, group 2. So if you have selected this group, this is your card. And so this is going to be the analysis of your what the fuck moment. Okay, we are going to see what this what the fuck moment is about, what is bringing for you, what you should be working on or being careful about, and why this is happening, or what type of outcome you might expect from this. So this myth very shortly talks about a prophecy that has been waited. I mean, there are 2 characters who are waiting for the realization of a prophecy, and they have been waiting for a long time. Then the prophecy actually happens, but they don't really see right away that it is the right prophecy, because they had received a very specific message, a very specific way, or very specific indications to recognize that prophecy. And so when it actually happens, at first they're like, no, this is not what we were expecting. And then they realize that through not taking things too literally and not taking things too seriously either, it was actually the perfect prophecy for them. Let's see how does that translate to you. So first and foremost, what your what the fuck moment is about. It talks about the established order here. I think it's a house or like an under construction house, but like very rustic and also traditional. And so you might be wondering or having doubts about certain set of traditions or one specific type of tradition. Like you might be wondering if it's right for you. Like, let's say you are being presented with one way to do things, and you might be wondering if this resonates with who you are as an individual, or perhaps you know what really resonates for you in terms of traditions as an individual, and you might be feeling challenged at this moment in time to do things in a different way. And yeah, this could be like a what the fuck moment, you know, because this kind of clashes against what gives you stability. Let's see why. Okay, so I just understood something really important about this group, and that was through analyzing like what is the teaching, what is the lesson, what is the good thing that you can focus on during this transit in order to make the fucking best of it. And it says here, I'm covering what I'm supposed to show. It says here the weightings. And so the reason why you are not getting stability just yet in whatever area you might be inquiring about, because energy readings, collective readings, we are talking about energies, those might apply to a whole bunch of different situations. So you might be working on a project, let's say that it's the first time that you work on a professional project on your own, and you are used to get things done in a certain way while either working under someone or within a group. And now things are moving differently because it's just you. And this is causing you anxiety, this is causing you stress and worries and sleepless nights. And just look at this guy, this one. Okay, but this is actually good for you, because the fact that you are, another thing first, this might also refer to relationships, okay? So perhaps you are, like, in your mind, you want commitment, like you have been nourishing commitment energy, you know that you can commit to someone, or you might already have someone in your life and you would like to either you commit to them, or ideally the both of you committing to each other, otherwise it can be painful. But basically the reason why it is not happening right now, it's to keep you on your toes, not to keep you stressed, but to keep you waiting, because in this waiting you're going to nourish whatever it is that you need to nourish in order to be successful. Okay, so you might also, if you okay, I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but if you were hoping for commitment from someone and that is not arriving, even if in your mind you might ideally feel more comfortable in a committed situation, the fact that it is not arriving right now could be the chance to keep your options open and explore different stuff. And the stress here is put on explore, because you're not supposed to stay in this scattered energy forever, in this waiting energy, okay? The goal here is to let yourself learn through practice what your mind or your heart or your soul or whatever it is within you that is clashing against this unstable reality already knows. But life is made for us to experience it, to learn from it. And so by putting yourself in a mental prison, like if I'm not getting exactly what I've been working on, what I've been praying for, I'd rather want nothing. You are denying yourself the ability and the possibility to learn from this experience. And so I did this example with dating, but this also talks about waiting for a contract, waiting for a certain amount of money. In this waiting, you are also going to learn exactly what it is that you need to deploy and nourish within yourself in order to attract those big things. And what you need to keep in mind is that things are actually moving in your favor. You might not see it. Things might be happening behind the scenes for you. And so all the negative sensations that are coming from not getting exactly what you want at the speed that you want is also a moment to teach you how to live with negative emotions. Unfortunately, we can't put a hand inside of ourselves and just pull out negative emotions as we please. Sometimes, we just need to exercise our faith. If we know that we have been working in the right way, doing all the right things, everything checks from a quality point of view. It's just a matter of letting all the other intrications, all the other elements get into place, so that then the whole machine can move and you can also move with it. And when it comes to what you need to be careful of during this transit is the unexpected help. So this might be a quite brief transit, okay, like a couple weeks, let's say, or days even, during which your energy will be quite off. So the energy that you might have put in whatever endeavor so far might have been top notch. The energy that is working in your favor behind the scenes might also be top notch. The energy that is coming towards you during this specific transit of not getting, like, not having that exact solution just yet is not top notch. Actually, can be quite to be avoided. You might not even be aware of how desperate your requests, your energy is coming off, precisely because you are going through this, and what you should be focusing on is going through this, learning how to calm yourself, to be patient and let things work for you if you know that you have done your part to work on things. Okay? And so your way to ask for more help, because you might have this desperate need for having something concrete in your hands, and so even if, like, intuitively you know that you have put your hopes in the right things, that that contract is going to come through, not today, not tomorrow perhaps either, but in 2 weeks. But the situation that you're going through is just like 2 weeks seems like torture, and so every day you wake up and you kind of forget that it's a 2 weeks type of things, and so at some point you still go out and look for solutions. Be careful, okay? Like, I mean, if you need to put out some more intention to feel like you are still creating movement, that's okay. Just try to not bring people down in a spiral of chaos just because you feel chaotic, because also, I mean, first and foremost, you might like the things that were supposed to come through could actually start to repel first, but then also you might start attracting propositions or things that are not very well thought through, and they're just like, oh yeah, I can resolve the thing in 2 days, and then the solution also lasts 2 days, and then not only you have lost like the big blessing that was coming in, but now you also have to pay for whatever came down crashing, okay? But the good thing is that even if you might be surrounded by false hope, you might also be able to recognize it pretty quickly as just fucking noise, because when it talks about why you are having this what the fuck moment is to help you find your guides, okay? You are not supposed to go through these alone. You are not supposed to feel anxiety, to feel depressed, to feel anxious alone. So as long as you are careful about who you pick to share your state with, and perhaps it could be wise to differentiate, okay? Like, let's say that you are in this state because of a work situation. You might want to share this with a therapist who has nothing to do with your work, who has no expectation regarding what type of direction the work is going to go, and is therefore just going to pinpoint for you how you can refocus your energy on regenerating yourself, like using the waiting time to make yourself better, stronger, better if you want, so that when it actually comes through, you are ready to spit fire. This might also be like the time for you to stop listening to the advice of people who don't know what the fuck they are talking about, and you just ask for their advice because you know them, like they're your friends, and so you know that if you send a message they will answer, you know that if you call them they'll pick up the phone, but at the same time they really don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And this could talk about like really malicious people who are just there to talk shit, but this could also talk about people who might just have a big ego, and so if they hear you talking about something, they feel the need to give their opinion, even if their opinion is not informed, because that is simply not their field. They just feel important because they are being involved into a problematic. And so this is a time for you to learn how to rather rely on the advice of someone who is actually an expert. Okay, so if you're going through a legal situation, talk to someone who knows about law. Don't talk to Suzette from the bar. Suzette doesn't even know how old she really is. What the fuck does she know about law? Okay, if you are inquiring about a relationship issue, you might want to talk to a counselor, or a tarot reader, or a spiritual advisor, okay, and perhaps not your mom. Nothing wrong with your mom, but, you know, if I think of my mom, I just know that she was the worst at giving relationship advice because she simply had no clue about what the fuck. But she really liked to talk. She really liked to give advice. She still does, unfortunately. Was that the best? Are those the best advice? No. So if you know that someone doesn't know about something, just because you need to have an answer, it will not come from them. It was not coming from them last week. It will not come from them this week. It will not come from them next Tuesday in 1,100 weeks. Okay? It might come from someone who knows what the fuck they're talking about. You cannot walk into a bakery store and get angry because you can't find sunglasses, unless it's a super futuristic concept. If you want to copy that, I'm okay. I'll never do that. I know that for sure, so I'll leave that for whoever might have the budget to do that. And the passion for bread. I just like to eat it. So if you do that, let's get in touch then, and you can send me bread to thank me, because I deserve it. Now, what else? Yeah, nothing. I mean, just remember that this is happening for you, not against you. So even these negative emotions that are arising, they are arising for you to pay attention to them and rather not act upon them, especially if that can come out in a destructive way. Distractive or destructive? Both? Which one was which? We'll never know. Yeah, that was it for my late evening English skills and for my group too. Thank you for tuning in. If you resonate with this message, you can like, subscribe, share. If you want to connect through other social media, my website and shop will be in the description box below. And then reservation link as well, donation link as well. As long as everything is there, it's active. Okay? Wish you well. See you soon. Bye. Group 3. Took a little break, had some water, and before I sat down, I heard this phrase in my mind, and it was like, Spirit has the best jokes. Like, people might joke about you, people might make joke about stuff that you do. The Spirit has the best jokes. I might share one that happened to me just today, but I eventually decided that I burned the pitch already for enough seasons. So, I just keep it general. And then I turn up the card and I see this. Okay? I have done a whole video about this myth. Like, I don't have a video for every myth in my deck just yet. That is the goal, of course, as you can probably see from the general construction. But this one is already out, and it talks about nonsensical jealousy from other people. Okay? I mean, it could be from you, but it could be that you might work on feeling jealousy in a healthy way. But we are going to see that in a minute. Okay, so first, what is your what the fuck moment about? What your what the fuck moment is about? I don't know, but you got the point. So, the overall energy is the process, or but like in a legal sense, okay, not like in the journey sense. So I don't know if it's the right translation. I don't think it is. Like, when a judge, when you go to court and a judge has to proclaim a judgment, okay, that's the vibe, okay? And this might be you. Okay, you might be wondering whether burning someone. I mean, this could talk about literally bringing someone to court, okay? And you might be wondering, like, is it even me? Like, I'm a good person. I just want to live my life in peace. Is it even worthy to be in this war energy? And perhaps, like, if it's a legal matter, you might also be wondering about money. Is it even worthy to invest so much money? Can I even win? Do I even have the time to recover? Because, going to court takes a whole lot of time. Like, you might need to resolve the issue tomorrow, and then the first appointment is in 2 months. Like, the fuck am I supposed to do in the meantime, okay? This could also talk about exposing someone. Like, you might be wondering whether, like, is it worthy to expose someone publicly? Is it worthy to have that hard conversation with someone, and it could be like not the best conversation about them, like you having to tell someone, look, I dislike you because of this, or I no longer want to talk to you because of this, and this might be like a very shitty thing, okay? And one reason, like, no, one reason we already said, like you need to take action, yes or yes, because the situation you are being faced is bad. Okay, this can be anything, depending on who is watching the video, at which time, yada yada. But in general, the situation is bad. And you might be wondering, okay, like, do I take the control of this? Do I take my own revenge? Do I make justice where there isn't? And so, as I was saying, one reason is because this situation is bad from an objective point of view. Another reason is because you know that you can. Okay? Might be a bad one. A bit. Like, you know that you can check a bitch if you have to. You know that you can tell someone how to remove themselves from your energy, and how to do that in the most direct and understandable way possible, because you know, sometimes we're witnessing or we are being part of stuff that's just so bad, and the other party just doesn't seem to see that, okay? And the only way to stop whatever is happening is to stop relying on the other party realizing on their own that what they're doing is wrong, and rather teaching them that what they are doing is wrong. And you might feel quite confident in your practical abilities, but also you might be feeling quite heated by just how bad the situation is, okay? Like, okay, you are basically knocking at my door, begging for a punch in the face. I did not came for you, I was not looking for it, but you are here. So knowing that I have been signaling to you that whatever it is that it was going on had to stop, and it did not stop. Now I gotta check your energy. So, first advice from Spirit, rather choose to do what you know is supposed to work and not what you feel is going to work. Because if you are in the heat of a situation, there is a part, a reasonable part of yourself, and also like a wise part of yourself that wants to resolve the situation for good. And this might take some time because bad situations, unfortunately, do not go away on their own. Try it. No, but jokes aside. What I was saying. Yes, so one part of you that is willing to collaborate on some level, and then there is another part of you who just wants to get rid of the negative situation that is probably affecting you or other people even attached to you negatively. And be careful about that. Like, try to get rid, like, try to find other ways, other what's the word? Yeah, other solutions, holistic ones might really be beneficial for you at this moment in time. Learning exercises to calm your nervous system down, like especially when faced with someone who you might want to punch in the face. I mean, if you're going through a Will Smith type of situation, you might end up having to punch someone in the face. But what we are analyzing here is the process that, like, how to deal with the process that is going to bring you to the resolution, whatever that is. Hoping it's not going to be punches, okay? But that's also life. So, better be prepared for whatever. Yeah, so there is a part of you that wants to get rid of the negative emotions, so do not follow that part when deciding which action to take next. Use strategy for that as much as you can. And yeah, use the purging moment as learning time, basically. Yeah, and as long as you do not let yourself get trapped into those like black vortex, okay, like it might be something that is demanding your attention, but if it's something that you want to get rid of, first start with how much attention you give to that. I know, shocking, but really though, it might sound counterintuitive because if it's something that is really damaging, you might really want to just receive some magical spiritual scissors and cut the situation out of your life. But no, you can't. That situation is also there to teach you something, which is not how to play war with a pig. Because, one scenario, like, very general, that is really coming through this reading is you having to deal with someone very toxic. And so yeah, one thing that I read a long time ago was that when you are fighting against a toxic person, it's like fighting against a pig. You realize at some point that the pig has no purpose in the fight. He's not fighting for a purpose. He's fighting because he needs to blow off some steam and get all dirty playing in mud and shit. And he likes that. So, if you like that, follow your crazy war plans, and yeah, that is that yeah, no, that of course that was sarcasm. But what you are supposed to learn here is exactly the opposite. So how to not get stuck in that, how to learn how to do things with problems, like dedicate one area of your life, one set of hours during the day to improving the situation from a general point of view. Let's say that it's something at work that is interfering with how well you can work. First, work on working well. Then dedicate 5 minutes to thinking about how to have the best reaction next, knowing that the problem is going to stay a problem. Okay? Could be someone, right? Some people really do have this type of audacity. There was this other thing that I read a few months ago, and it went it was a meme, I think. When the problem comes, ask you what's the problem. Okay? So yeah, you might be dealing with a narcissist, perhaps at work, perhaps at home even, and you might be in the process to either remove yourself from the situation or having to stand your ground firmly in order for them to fuck up big time, because they always do, and therefore be removed from the situation, but in the meantime they're still fucking there. Or even what else? I had another thing. Yeah, but in general it might be a situation that is coming back again and again and again, and every time it's negative, every time, Or yes, exactly. Or perhaps you are you are already in the separation movement, and you are moving towards saying your piece of truth about the whole situation, and this might require you to use terms, energies, and a type of way of expressing yourself that is not your usual nature, okay? Because you might be dealing with someone who is really disgusting, and sometimes they just have to know, or sometimes the people around just have to know who the fuck they are dealing with, because we simply cannot deal with just anyone, okay? Things have consequences, and so if we let just anyone roam in our spaces, professional spaces, personal spaces, that leaves traces. And so if you already know that it's important for you to be around and let to be around people, and to let people be around you only if you know that they're going to leave good traces, and that is not the case for this situation. You might eventually learn that all you can do is step up and stop it. And that is because another major thing that you're going to learn from this situation is that some things cannot be changed, and not just in general. This is talks very specifically about certain type of irrational jealous traits that people naturally have. Because at the beginning of this video I was talking about learning how to perceive, treat, and deal with jealousy in a healthy way. And what I meant by that is that jealousy is a human emotion, so it is human to feel either intimidated or to feel desire for what someone else have. But then it is also important, in order to be like a functioning being that can be around others, that can collaborate with others, that can be a positive force for others, there has to be a more conscious filter that is able to check in with reality when those emotions arise. Like, am I feeling intimidated because this person is actually doing something towards, like something negative towards me, that therefore would require me to react? Or am I just having a shitty day? I would probably not be feeling the same way if it was one of my super fashion days, but today is not the case. And so seeing someone who is like super cool and shining, and everything is done, and the hair is done, and the nails are done, like my nails broke. Like I have been evil-eyed big time, but at the same time I'm like super hyped up on my spiritual protections, and basically all these motherfuckers can do is break my nails, and I'm like, bitch, I can regrow that. Can you regrow that whole area of your life you fucked over just because you absolutely had to start shit with a witch who is specialized in spiritual protection? No? Didn't think so. But that's too bad. Because just like me, you're going to learn that some people do not have that filter. Some people have made choices because, as I said in another video, like, I wake up, I decide to stay in bed or go to the bathroom, that's a choice. I have a feeling arising and I decide to ignore the feeling, that's a choice. I decide to act upon the feeling, that's a choice too. I decide to sit down, analyze the feeling, and learn from it, that's a choice too. And different moments require different type of choices, and what you're going to learn is that some people are simply incapable of making the right choices, especially when it comes to you. Yeah. Good thing though is that you are going to be thriving through all of this. You are going to be shining through all of this, okay? By accepting the separation, though, between you and whoever has been trying to be your enemy at all cost. Because perhaps they're not even your enemy, okay? Like, they are supposed to be partners, colleagues, friends, whatever, but you are going to see that they are acting as everything but that, okay? And so you're probably going to have to go through a process within yourself of anger, realization, forgiving yourself, learning how to put the right names on the elements of the situation, and eventually decide that you have to let them go. So you might decide like to tell them to go fuck themselves at some point, like if I were God, I will probably be able to take the higher road you are hoping that I will take so that you will get away with your shitty behavior, but I am just a tired bitch, so you're going to get my middle finger. Get what you get. I mean, I got you. And so, I mean, not you, not you, the viewer, you, the toxic motherfucker. Yeah, also learning about bad luck. Sometimes you just meet bad people so that you can learn about them. Because, you know, we're here to learn. This is a huge, big learning experience. Sometimes quite an extreme ones. But or something else that you might be called to do to survive these energies is to learn how to progressively detach from them. And so there is this, to me, genius metaphor that I have seen on a Netflix series, because, you know, inspiration can come from anywhere if you know where to look. And it's a very known one. I mean, to these days, I would probably struggle to find someone who doesn't. And it's... I forgot the fucking title. No, I got it. It's Stranger Things. And there is this part, I'm going to try to not to put too many spoilers, but there's this kid who is dragged into a whole other dimension, comes back, and he has an entity, a kind of demonic entity in him. And that starts changing him. Like, his temperature craves change, the things that he wants to eat change. Like, he's no longer nourishing the body, he's nourishing the sickness, okay? And so you might be noticing that within yourself. Like, if you are around toxic people, they do affect your health. Like, if you are around low vibrational people, in general, you might be feeling weighed down, but especially if you are sensitive to energies even more. And so yeah, this kid was no longer nourishing the body, he was nourishing this dark thing inside of him. And the mother has a super good intuition. Like, instead of performing super harmful procedures, even dangerous ones, trying to find the thing, open up the body, getting it out, perhaps not even finding all the pieces, she says, let's make the host inhabitable. So she started studying all these changing in in her son's rhythm. Okay, does the entity want coal? Let's give it heat. Does the entity want to starve my son? I mean, I can't remember exactly, but like, is the entity trying to dehydrate my son? Let's hydrate the fuck out of him. Okay, and so yeah, let's say if you're dealing with someone who is trying to sabotage you because of jealousy, you're going to learn that the sabotage has nothing to do with how good your work is. I mean, it has to do with how good your work is, but it's because your work is way too good. And so the solution is not to stop because a jealous motherfucker wants you to stop, is to learn that the jealous motherfucker has no reason to exist. Yes, as I was saying, jealousy is natural, it can exist. That is not a problem. The problem arises when someone feels entitled and justified to express that freely, to turn that into action, and to make you feel bad for reacting to that, because who the fuck are you? I mean, you are not supposed to feel bad because you are doing something well and that is making someone else feel bad. I mean, if you are a reasonable person, you know damn well that you can feel bad looking at someone else's stuff, and it does not mean that that person has to be taken down. I mean, who the fuck are you to think that someone doesn't have to exist because it makes you feel small? Grow the fuck up. Literally. That's reality inviting you to grow. And these people are rejecting the invitation over and over again and are therefore supposed to receive an invitation to go the fuck off. Okay? So make the host inhabitable. If they are trying to instill self-doubt, work on putting your self-esteem on 1000. If they are trying to work on making you late, work on being a Swiss clock. Fuck, it's even my country. You got the point. And also give up on the idea that by achieving those results, they are going to be like less annoying, because the point here is that they are being annoying because of your results, because of already previously perhaps not even that great results. So just imagine how pissed they're going to be as soon as you start getting either better or better, because you might have been working on something and perhaps you were new at it, but just in the sense that you just needed to know, like, just tell me where to find stuff and then I can do my magic. And now you are in that zone when you can actually do your magic. And yeah, make sure that you are keeping your energy protected in general, and that you are keeping them out of your magic, okay? Otherwise, your manifestation might be delayed, and also getting rid of them might be delayed, and we don't want that to happen, don't we? And yeah, just be great. Let them behind, and let the universe deal with them. The universe seems to have pretty amazing jokes, I swear. Okay, that was it for my group 3. I am now going to film group 4. If you resonate, like, subscribe, share, whatever. to donate, the link is below. To reserve, to book a reading with me, if the link is below, it is still possible. And if you want to follow me on my other platforms and endeavors, the website is also below. Thank you. See you soon. Hi, group 4. If you chose group 4, this is your card. And those are the keywords that we are going to analyze to understand your what the fuck moment. So I think this is going to be a very short message, yet a very important one, okay? Because I can see right away what the situation is. Your what the fuck moment, I mean, usually I would start with analyzing the first keyword to see what is the overall energy. And the overall, yes, I can still start with that, because the overall energy is that you are working on something very important, okay? Like very, very important, to the point of you're almost working yourself to death. And that is the important part, because that is not okay. Okay, boo? Let's see what we can do about it. Okay. You might be experiencing a burnout moment right now. And burnout is something really, really serious, okay? It's not because it is induced by external circumstances that it is not as serious. It is not because it is theoretically temporary that it should not be taken into serious consideration, okay? People can die from it, okay? So if you are feeling burnt out, remember that it doesn't matter how important your project, your ambition is, you will never ever achieve that if you're dead. Dead souls can somehow communicate with us, but we fleshy things are the ones who have the most creation power to actually move things here on Gaia. So, since this is what you're trying to do, the best way to do that is to stop being this. Okay? To accept being this. This talks about the disease, to accept the time of disease, to accept the fact that your health issues are coming from an excess of work. Working more is not going to make them go away, it is going to make them worse. And this is going to be aggravated by the fact that you are going also to feel a lot of regret. So this might be either regret because you are realizing just how much of yourself you have wasted away, and just how effed up your health is. This could be mental health, but this could also be like actual physical symptoms, where you might need to see a doctor to really know what your levels are, and use that to do a realistic recovery plan. So if your physical health is really bad, it's simply not realistic to think that you're going to be back to yourself in today. You are going to need to do just the bare minimum in terms of work, and do the excess and more in terms of self-care, in terms of sick time. Because when you are sick, it is not a punishment. Your body is dragging you, is begging you to stop, to slow the fuck down, to stay in bed, to sweat the thing, to rehydrate yourself, to sleep, to eat nutritious food, to eat your greens. There was this super amazing reggae song from Buju Banton, I think. I have been trying to find that on YouTube for years, but I just can't. I know it was like, eat your kale, like it was a whole list of vegetables that you can eat. If you have the song, please send that to me. Help me. In the meantime, let me help you. Yeah. Take the sick time as time to regenerate yourself, okay? Make also sure that you're not just laying there waiting for death. Even if you are too tired, instead of perhaps like skip a meal to sleep more and work more, rather skip more, have the meal, have the sleep. You can reconnect with work. You can send I'm sorry messages. You can let a few contracts go, a few deals go, but if you're gone, you're gone. Okay? So the good thing is that if you have taken very seriously and you have been a very good boy or a very good girl and you have been taking care of yourself, the message here is that your forces are going to be restored with more, okay? Because you will already know what you are supposed to be doing, because you know how to work hard. You already know how to do that. That is okay. Like that has already been proven. Now what you need to prove to your spiritual team is that you also know how to nurture yourself, that you also know how to take care of yourself, how to be good to yourself, how to be soft to yourself, how to regenerate yourself from the inside out, so that you can literally go from this struggling poor guy to this Hercules. I do love my little butt naked guy lifting a rock as if it was nothing. Okay? And yeah, like this central figure is the Mater, and is a very determined character in her own ways. My dog just farted. This kind of lowered down the mysticism, but I mean, one has to know how to keep the job going. But what I was saying is that this is a very determined energy, and so you might be struggling with being more reserved with your energies, because you are very determined and you're used to like go for your goals, headstrong, not take too much time to rest. And so one way that you can use to overcome this difficulty is to perceive these surrendering to the sick time as another form of determination, not in being sick, but in taking care of you. Okay, like the war for a bit is not going to be like outside being like against the odds, creating opportunities, opening doors, whatever. The war is going to be more in the house, in being disciplined with how much liquid you put in yourself, how much good food you give to yourself, how much fresh air, gentle movement, meditation, even physical, increasing the number of showers or bath, if you have the chance to take a spiritual bath or just a bath with salt, that could be amazing. Yeah, use those actions as the current expression of your determination, knowing that is going to bring you back to being able to express that same determination outside and even more. Okay, thank you, group 4. That was it for this group and this video in general. If you like the message and you resonate, you can like, subscribe, share. You can also find me on other platforms and social media. I also have several shops. All my links are on my website, and the website is down below. Tips or donations are always welcome. Another link will be as well available down below. And if, like, as long as personal readings are still available, the reservation link will be down below as well. Hope that it helped. Wish you a great whatever you're going to have next. Say your daily Vada Retro, and see you soon. Bye.